India is set to conduct its first ever counter-drone drill called Cold Start this October. It's the biggest military exercise since Operation Sindoor, and the name Cold Start suggests the aim to use drones in the next conflict at a moment's notice. Primarily to be held in Madhya Pradesh in the presence of the Triad, the Indian Army, Indian Navy and the Indian Air Force. The drill will start in the first week of October. Academic, industry and research partners will also participate in it. This as drones and drone swarms have become an integral part of modern warfare. The Deputy Chief of Integrated Defence Staff Operations, Rakesh Sinha, shared the core aim of these war games. He mentioned that it is to test the air defense architecture against any aerial threat a drone can possess and to refine new strategies considering heavy drone usage in Operation Sindoor from both India and from Pakistan. We will be testing some of our drone and counter-drone systems during this exercise so that we can make our air defense systems and counter-UAS completely robust, unquote. Sinha says the drive will also involve detection of drones in complex electromagnetic spectra, rapid classification and decision-making using AI systems, precision countermeasures to minimize collateral damage, seamless integration with existing air defense assets such as Akash Prime, Sudarshan Chakra intercept systems and electronic warfare platforms, unquote. After the use of Turkish drones in the war by Pakistan Army, the threat has been analyzed by Indian Army officials and are all set to refine India's air defense grid even further. This despite India shooting down nearly all of 300 to 400 Turkish drones in one night used by Pakistan during the recent conflict. Even though Indian counter-drone grid and GPS jamming systems demonstrated effective operations during the conflict, however, according to Indian Army officials, Pakistan is now aware of the technology and capabilities of the Indian military and thus air defense tactics will need to be refined and new strategies and technologies integrated. While describing this kind of customization as essential, Deputy Chief Rakesh Sinha added, use of AI and machine learning for rapid response, scalable solutions adaptable to both peace and wartime settings, minimization of collateral damage through smart targeting, unquote. The Cold Start also focuses on Sudarshan Chakra air defense concept, a vision that comprises integrated air defense system architecture that merges sensors, command networks and countermeasures that can respond quickly and smoothly to any aerial threats, from drones and even hypersonic missiles and UAV swarms or drone swarms. Adversary nations like China and Pakistan are constantly advancing their own drone technologies. The drill will not only enhance current capabilities of India's air defense grid, but also use AI-driven systems to neutralize enemy drones. The Air Marshal of Integrated Defence Staff, Ashutosh Dikshit, stated, "They are also working and becoming better, so we have to go one step ahead," unquote. India is developing an integrated air defense system called Sudarshan Chakra that will support counter-drone technologies and counter-hypersonic capabilities as soon as 2035. The country's most ambitious project will provide critical protection to military assets as well as infrastructure. The air defense system interconnects radars, sensors, satellites, AI decision-making and several missile systems to form a nationwide defense environment to protect not just military sites but also large cities, population centers and government infrastructure. It is a fully indigenous system that is customized to counter hypersonic threats, drones, loitering munitions and other advanced aerial platforms. Combining Israeli Iron Dome, the US THAAD and Russian S-500 features, the Indian system is expected to cover multiple layers of radars and satellites for early warning, energy weapons and anti-drone measures. Sudarshan Chakra includes the Integrated Air Defense Weapon System or IADWS, featuring quick reaction surface-to-air missiles or QRSAMs and very short-range air defense systems or VS-HORADs. as well as directed energy weapons, also known as DEWs. The Sudarshan Chakra will work beside existing missile defense systems, including the Akash, S-400 and Barak-8, and incorporate all the three domains of land, sea and air, along with undersea and satellite assets that make it even more compatible for dynamic operational conditions. Now, drones are emerging as an essential combat asset in current wars and transforming the conduct of warfare with its modern and advanced technologies. Their roles are not limited anymore and are beyond just surveillance or precision strikes or electronic warfare to have evolved into multi-domain operations. We have seen it ourselves in Operation Sindoor, how Turkey supplied advanced drones to Pakistan under part of a defense cooperation between both the countries. Reportedly, Turkey delivered over 350 drones from Bayraktar TB2s to Akinci, Songar and Yiha models, apart from the Turkish-originated munitions to Pakistan to enable kamikaze strikes into India, as well as surveillance capabilities. Indian Colonel Sofia Qureshi, during the media briefing, had revealed on the intervening night of May 7th and 8th, the Pakistan Army used around 300 to 400 drones to target Indian military infrastructure along the northern and western borders. She also confirmed that the drones were Turkish in origin, stating, "Forensic investigation of the wreckage of the drone is being done. Initial reports suggest they are Turkish Asis Guard Songar drones." The Indian Armed Forces shot down many of these drones using kinetic and non-kinetic means. The possible purpose of such large-scale aerial incursions was to test air defense systems and collect intelligence, unquote. It is reported that after Operation Sindoor, Pakistan and Turkey have renewed a $900 million deal concerning drones and munitions. As part of the revised agreement, Pakistan is set to receive upgraded and advanced version of the Bayraktar TB2 and Akinci drones and over 700 Turkish-made loitering munitions alongside joint training, additional cooperation on electronic warfare. Now, right after Operation Sindoor in early July, a high-level meeting was held between Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan and Defense Minister Yasar Güler in Islamabad in the presence of Pakistani leadership, including Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Army Chief Asim Munir. The talks were focused on how to strengthen defense ties, including technology transfer and intelligence cooperation. Turkey's transfer of drones to Pakistan in combat and the expansion of defense ties between Pakistan and Turkey has become a central element for India to consider while preparing for any future combat situation. The rapidly evolving military dynamics of South Asia cannot be ignored, and India too will need to strengthen its own global alliances with the likes of Israel, Greece, Cyprus and Armenia to counter this axis of terror. Turkey is not leaving any chance to provoke India also over something they have no say over. Erdogan again brought up the Kashmir issue at the UNGA. Why is Turkey so interested in India's internal issues in Kashmir? Maybe India too should start bringing up the issue of Turkey's Armenian genocide or the illegal occupation of northern Cyprus as well. At the United Nations, Erdogan mentioned, quote, "In South Asia, we consider the preservation of peace and stability to be of utmost importance. We are pleased with the ceasefire achieved following the tensions last April between Pakistan and India, the tension which had escalated into a conflict," unquote. But look at the irony. On one hand, he talks peace, on the other, supplies drones to Pakistan to use against India. Turkey also continues to support Pakistan's state-sponsored terror and proxy war in Kashmir. Now, Kashmir has always been part of India's history. Srinagar, its capital, was established by an Indian emperor Ashoka in 250 BC, when Turkey nor Pakistan even existed. So Erdogan would be wise to stop peddling his narrative on Kashmir. Operation Sindoor showed India is now willing to fight fire with fire. India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has responded to Erdogan's remarks as India too affirmed its support to Cyprus and for a comprehensive and lasting settlement of the Cyprus question. In other words, it's time for Turkey to end its illegal occupation of northern Cyprus, a region that no one recognizes, not even the European Union. MEA spokesperson Ranthir Jaiswal added, "Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India. No other country has any locus standi to comment on it. Instead of commenting on the internal affairs of another country, it would have been appropriate if Pakistan's policy of using cross-border terror against India, which remains the biggest threat for the people of Jammu and Kashmir, had been called out. Unquote. India has made it clear multiple times there will be no third-party intervention or mediation in the Kashmir issue, and the only way forward is for Islamabad to surrender POK or Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. However, with that unlikely to happen anytime soon, another India versus Pakistan war can never be ruled out, in which drones and drone swarms will play an increasingly important role. What do you believe? Are drones set to rule the modern battlefield? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.